Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for those of you who are new, don't forget to subscribe down below if you do enjoy the video. But today I got you guys a new video for the M5. Basically what we're doing is upgrading the iDRIVE screen. So I had actually ordered this for the 535 before we sold it, actually before I thought of selling it, and then everything went by. We sold it, we got the M5. I contacted the company and they actually helped me out to get it exchanged for one. It's the same thing, it's just for the M5 because it had a different iDRIVE than the 535. Anyway, so when I was looking for screens, this is one of the best companies to order from. It's 4x4shop.ca. That's their website. I'll put it right here just in case you guys want to see. I believe they're one of the distributors of the brand iDRIVE USA. As you guys can see, packaging is super nice and clean. This whole box was bubble wrapped. It took me like 5 minutes just to get it out of there, but anyways, this is the screen I went with, guys. You can either get like the same exact style screen just with like the whole Android thing, or you can go ahead and get this style right here. It actually looked pretty nice in a couple of pictures that I saw, so hopefully it looks good on the M5. Hopefully everything works good. I'll go ahead and show you guys everything today's video. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys exactly how to install it. Also, this is the screen, guys. So it's like the style of the like newer cars or the F30s. It's a really big screen. I believe it's the same size, but this is like touchscreen and stuff. We're gonna check it out and see how it looks. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and set up the tripod on the car and show you guys what you gotta do to actually get this installed. So stay tuned. Alright guys, before we actually disconnect anything, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the battery. So I'm going to lift this, take out the positive terminal, and then we can go ahead and start the install. Alright guys, now with the battery disconnected, we're gonna go ahead and start by taking off this trim. Behind this trim should be these connectors and this connector, so don't just pull it off. Make sure you pull it back and then disconnect everything before you actually take it completely off. But we'll be using some trim tools for this. Just take your time and be careful. You don't want this to snap. Alright, so once you got the whole thing kind of pried out, you want to lift up a little bit, get the air vent thingies out of the way, and then you can see, I don't know if you guys can see that good, but there should be about 3 connectors that you have to disconnect. There should be 2 right here, and then the actual start one. So just go ahead and take those off real quick. With those 3 connectors disconnected, you can go ahead and put this piece to the side. Be careful, you do not want to break this. Alright, so we can put these to the side. One thing I forgot to mention, guys, so I got the car with this thing right here. It's basically an HDMI cable. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but just want to let you guys know in case any of you were wondering what this is or if there's any extra cables in the back. Now there's going to be 2 bolts right under the screen, right here and then right here. You want to take those off. They're going to be T20s. Now you also want to take off these screws right here. One right there and one right there. Same T20. Now this piece actually just comes off. Just pull it off. So, and then you can go ahead and disconnect these. For these, you just pull back the little clip on both sides, and then you just pull the whole connector out. Go ahead and put this to the side as well. Now what you want to do is pull out these 4 bolts right here, guys. Again, they're going to be T20s. Now go ahead and pull this whole unit back. Alright guys, so I had to take off the whole system that the guy had. I had to take all that off. I didn't show it because you guys obviously don't have to do that. But now what you have to do is, so go ahead and pull this out, and then you can disconnect the whole power harness. That actually goes back here. I don't know if you guys can see. It goes right there. So just go ahead and disconnect that. Now what you want to do is, behind this there is a fiber optic cable. You basically want to take it out of this one. There's a little clip they have to pull back, and then you can pull the whole harness out. So they give you tweezers to make it a little bit easier. Just go ahead and take that off. So as you guys can see, alright guys, so the fiber optic cable that we took off, we're gonna put it into the new harness. As you guys can see, this is the one that's gonna go into the system. Just make sure you put it in the same spot that you took the other one out from. Alright guys, so you're gonna get the original car's connector and get the female connector from the aftermarket harness, and go ahead and plug these two in together, and then the new male connector from the aftermarket harness. As you guys can see, this is going to go into the system over here. So go ahead and connect that one in, and then you're basically done with this. Now let's go ahead and take off this screen. So just pull it off and then disconnect this connector right here. And now what you can do is route all these cables, which are from the aftermarket harness, up to where the screen will usually be. Now you want to grab the harness with the USBs and route them from the glove box up to this spot up here where we put the other ones. So just go ahead and do that. You do get a GPS antenna and a 4G LTE antenna in case you do want to run a SIM card into your new display. I won't be doing that, so I'm not going to go ahead and install these, but if you did, you're going to route them from the glove box up to the top the same way. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and connect the head unit the same way you disconnected it. Alright, so grab your new iDRIVE display, go ahead and connect everything where it goes connected, and then I'm going to go ahead and plug in the battery just to make sure everything is working. And then once I make sure everything's working, I'll go ahead and organize all the cables, everything behind here, and then yeah, we'll go ahead and put everything back. Alright guys, now that everything's connected, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the battery and make sure everything works before we put everything else back. What's up guys, so it's a couple of days later. So basically what happened, from the last clip you guys saw, I connected the battery to test out the car, make sure everything was working good, and the screen was kind of like, it was off, like part of the screen was kind of cut off, and like, I don't know, I have a picture, I'm gonna put it right here so you guys can see, but basically that's what happened. And I thought I got like a faulty unit or something, so I went ahead and put all my original stuff back on. If you guys saw, when I got the car, the guy had he had put like an aftermarket thing so I can put an HDMI cable. I left that harness off. I left all that to the side. I just put all my original stuff back on. And then that night I sent an email to the company asking them if they can help me out. And basically the next day, because they're from Canada, so like the time difference is different. Yeah, they told me, they helped me out. They actually explained to me how I can change like the size of the screen. That's basically all I had to do, and I had no idea. So they helped me out to do that. So it's been like 4 or 5 days. Throughout the span of those days, I've had a couple questions, and like I needed a little bit of help on some of the stuff that you can do, and they've been really helpful with that. So great customer service for them. But basically I got everything working, guys, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So when I first saw this type of display, like this design display, it looked pretty cool in the pictures, but I was kind of like iffy about it because I didn't want it to look like it didn't fit the car, like if it wasn't meant for the car, basically. But I took the risk and I ordered that one either way. Throughout the time of me ordering it and it arriving, I was kind of iffy about it. I kind of liked the original screen better, how it sat into the dash, and then like you couldn't even tell it's aftermarket. But after installing it, guys, and running it for a couple of days, I actually changed my mind because it honestly fits the car completely, like perfectly. The F30s have like displays like this, not the same way it is placed into the car, but like the way it's standing up, and like the displays are like that. But I don't know, the fact that it's like glass and it's HD, even the original like BMW iDRIVE menu looks a lot better in my opinion. I honestly really like it, and after using it for a couple of days, like it's just grown on me more and more every single day. But basically, let me show you guys exactly how everything works so you guys can know like how everything is before you actually order for yourself, because I wish I knew exactly how it was. I just saw videos of like the company posting it, but they didn't completely explain everything that I wanted to know. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys everything right now. So this is the display, guys. There's not a lot of light in here, but you guys can see how it is right there. It actually looks really nice. You guys can see it right there how it looks. This is kind of how like the F90 has it, their display. Obviously it's not with like the dash up here, but this is kind of how they have it. And to be honest with you guys, I actually really like it. So everything actually works like normal. The normal iDRIVE, you know, the navigation, the radio, the aux, the Bluetooth, everything works like normal. You guys can see my phone's connected right there. Everything completely works like normal. But you also have an Android side, and I don't know if you guys can notice, but like the display just looks a lot nicer, a lot like crispier in my opinion, because this one's actual glass, and then it's like the screen, I believe it's HD, so that's why it looks better. But you can either tap the screen or hold the menu button for 3 seconds, and then it'll switch to the Android side, as you guys can see right here. And yeah, what you can do here, you can do a couple things. You can press car to go back to your car. You can touch the screen to go back to the Android. I don't really use this navigation or this like I don't really use this too much. This is pretty cool over here. If you go to dashboard, this comes on when the car's on, and it actually works as if it was like your cluster, which it looks pretty nice. You can either put comfort, eco, pro, or sports, which looks cool. And again, everything works normal, so you still have like your if you press, this is my preset, you still have your sport displays if you want that. But yeah, now if I go to apps, I can download stuff like YouTube, which is pretty cool because I can watch videos straight from here. I just need to connect it to the internet. It's not connected to my phone as of right now. Either that, or you can run LTE 4G if you go ahead and add a SIM card to this thing, which is, I don't really need it. I can just connect my phone to the hotspots. But another very cool thing that I actually use every single day is if I go to apps right here and I click on Z-Link. I believe you do have to pay extra for this if you do order the screen, but it's just like a one-time payment and that's it. If you click on Z-Link, mine should already be connected. But as you guys can see, this is CarPlay. You guys can see it works 100% good. Everything works awesome. I can go to my music right here, go back, library, and then like I can see all my songs that I have right here. I can go to the navigation. I can search for a specific place that I want to go. It honestly just looks super cool. I've always wanted to have CarPlay in one of my cars ever since CarPlay was like released, and it's cool that I finally have it in the car that I'll be keeping for a very long time. So yeah, this is what I've been running every single day since I got this display. When you first do try to set up CarPlay, it's a little iffy. It takes a little while, not too long, probably takes like 30 minutes, maybe a little bit less. But after that, you can set it so that as soon as you turn on the car, it'll connect to your phone and CarPlay will come up right away, which is how I have it, because I actually prefer to use this over the BMW one. Although the BMW one is really nice still, I have the option to use both of them. But yeah, this is what I've been using right now, which is super cool. I actually really love this. And then I can even set an address for my phone, and it'll start here, which is cool. And the best part about this is that it's wireless. I don't need to have nothing connected to my phone for it to work. It just connects automatically through Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So if I go on my phone and put the address for like Long Beach, I'll go ahead and put that, click directions, and then click go. It should start. As you guys can see, it literally started right away. And this is what I mean by it's like super cool. It's instant. It literally started right away. But I can go ahead and cancel it here, and I can go ahead and start a navigation straight from here. I can either say it to Siri or just go ahead and type it, and then I can put whatever address I want. For example, Los Angeles, California. Press go, and it literally starts right away. But yeah, this is like my favorite part about this display, other than the fact that I can actually watch YouTube. I can probably download other movie apps. I haven't tried it yet, but I honestly love this, guys. And the way this display looks, like I said, I was kind of iffy about it at the beginning, but now that I've been using it for the past couple of days, I honestly love the way this thing looks on the M5. It fits in completely. At first, like I said, I thought it was going to be kind of weird to use it, but now I actually really love it. And yeah, that's basically all I wanted to show you guys. Hopefully I was able to cover everything. You can also go here actually to easy connection and mirror your phone completely onto the screen, so it'll show everything that's on your phone on here, which is cool. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to show you guys in this video. Hopefully it was helpful. Honestly, it's 100% worth it with all the features and functions that it has. Not to mention that it still uses like the stock functions, like the volume and like the little knob on the steering wheel to change the music. Everything still works like normal, like I said, which is awesome. But yeah, guys, anyways, with all that being said, guys, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see. Anything you guys want to see on the M5 that I can do for you guys, I'll go ahead and do it. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.